every year or how many?
How many times
How often?
we need to
We leave that
avoid
up
analysis?
to the farmer. But if the farmer asks us what should we do, we'll tell them you should sample every year as long as you can do what the soil test shows you need to do.
Okay.
If you can't, if the soil test shows you need to do something and you haven't gotten that done yet, well then is it better to spend more money on a soil test or spend
Or
money on what you need to do?
fertilizers, yes.
Yeah. And what we'd say is at least get everything up to the minimums, because once you get up to the minimums, most soil will perform much better than they have been.
Yeah.
And then once they start to see that, then pick out an area that instead of doing a whole farm or something, pick out an area that you have a good even field, and on half the field just do what it takes to keep it to the minimum. On the other half, start increasing that level up so that you can try to get that soil in the best of shape. And there's not a farmer that I know of that ever got that land in the best of shape that say, oh, I'd rather have it the other way. And he'll tell you, once you get the land in the best shape, that's when you make the best returns, not the other way around. The things that you have to be concerned about is, are we going to get a flood? Are we going to get a hailstorm? Or something to destroy your crop for a year? So what we always tell them is, don't spend more money on fertilizer for all of your farm than what you normally would, so that we don't cause them to lose their farm. But take a small acreage that's not gonna break you up, and start treating that acreage to see, once we get those levels up where they ought to be, what kind of results do we get. And you guys will see tomorrow when you go to the University of Missouri. That's what Tim Reinbart is doing with his randomized replicated experiments, and he'll show you when you correct the soil, you get the best yield. And I don't know how far he'll get along depending on questions and so forth, but the next thing he says, if the Albrecht test shows you need something, even if it's a trace element that you think it won't make any difference, if you put that on part of it and don't put it on the other, the part where you have applied everything that's needed will always make not just the best yield, but also the highest quality and feed value. And they even measure the microbes in the soil. And they say the biological populations are higher. And he'll actually show you that in terms of randomized replicated tests where they take soils and some soils they've actually taken soils that were what Dr. Albrecht would say are ideal soils, and put on magnesium to make it get too high, and see what happens. What happens to the yield and so forth. And what they say is anything we do that interfered with what Dr. Albrecht said, this is the kind of soil you want for the top. Anything you do to interfere with that, it always results in lower quality and or